You have been lied to your entire life. They told you, be polite, be nice, be small, and the world will reward you. Look around. Does it work? Who gets the promotion? The one asking permission, or the one taking the lead? Who gets respect? The one who smiles and agrees, or the one who says no without flinching? Here is the truth nobody tells you. Being nice often signals weakness. Every time you accommodate, over-explain, or bend yourself for others, you're broadcasting. I'm easy to ignore. My boundaries are optional. My time is cheap. You think you're keeping the peace. The world thinks, pray. But it doesn't have to be that way. Today, I'm showing you 7 habits that secretly destroy your power and how to kill them. Change just 4 of these habits, and people will feel the shift. They won't know why, but they'll treat you differently. This isn't about becoming a jerk. It's not about being cruel. It's about becoming real. Becoming untouchable. Becoming the person nobody dares to overlook. If you're ready to stop being invisible, to stop letting the world walk over you, let's begin the surgery. Habit 1. The apology reflex. Your phone rings during lunch. You answer and say, "Sorry, I was just eating." The barista messes up your order. You smile and say, "Sorry, but this isn't what I asked for." You send a work email asking for an update. You start with, "Sorry to bother you." Stop. You think you're being polite. You think you're being easy to work with. But what you are really doing is giving away power, one word at a time. Every unnecessary apology sends the same message. I am smaller than this moment. And people treat you exactly how you train them to. Think about how often you apologize for things that are not wrong, for needing information, for wanting something done properly, for taking a call, for using your voice. You are not being kind. You are shrinking yourself. In nature, when an animal lowers its body and exposes its neck, it is not showing manners. It is showing submission. It is saying, I am no threat. When you apologize for existing in a conversation, for asking questions, for asking for what you deserve, you do the same thing socially. You lower your status before anyone even challenges you. Now listen carefully. An apology is not just a word. It is a signal. It is an admission of fault. If you use it when you are not guilty, you weaken your position. Think of it like money. If you give it away every time someone looks at you, it stops having value. Your sorry works the same way. When you apologize for traffic, timing, interruptions, or basic needs, your apology becomes cheap. Then one day, you actually make a serious mistake. You disappoint someone. You cross a real line. You say, sorry, and it carries no weight, because you already spent it on things you never owed. Why do people fall into this habit? Fear. Fear of tension. Fear of being judged. Fear of taking up space. So they try to smooth everything before it becomes uncomfortable. They lower themselves first. They submit before they are even pushed. Here is the hard truth. People do not respect those who keep shrinking. Human behavior follows a simple pattern. When one person acts small, the other automatically feels bigger. Not always cruelly, but always in control. By apologizing without reason, you hand others the higher ground. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Power is not only taken, it is often given away through habits. And one of the fastest ways to lose it is to apologize when you are not at fault. Now here is the shift. Do not apologize for something that is not wrong. Replace weakness with quiet respect. Instead of, "Sorry, I'm late," say, "Thank you for waiting." Instead of, "Sorry to interrupt," say, "Thank you for listening." Feel the difference. One makes you sound like a problem. The other makes you sound like someone worth attention. This does not make you rude. It makes you solid. You still apologize when you truly mess up. When you hurt someone, when you break trust, when you cross a real line. But for everything else? For speaking, for asking, for existing, silence is stronger than submission. Here is the question you must face. How many times today did you apologize for something you did not do wrong? Because every time you did, you taught people exactly how to treat you. Stop bleeding power through your words. Respect yourself first. The world will follow. Habit 2. The submission smile. You walk into a room. Someone cuts in front of you. They speak over you. They ignore what you just said. And what do? You smile. Not because you are happy, not because it is funny, but because you don't want tension. That small, quiet smile feels harmless, polite, safe, but it is not. That is the submission smile. And it tells the world you will tolerate being diminished. Think about a moment, you know. A co-worker takes credit for your idea in a meeting. Your jaw tightens. Your stomach drops. And instead of speaking, you smile. You tell yourself, "It's not worth it." You tell yourself, "I don't want to cause drama." But your silence speaks louder than any words. It says, "You can step on me, and I will make it easy." You think you are keeping the peace. But what you are really doing is lowering your status. In nature, when an animal shows its teeth, it is dominance. When it lowers its head, it is submission. Your forced smile is the human version of lowering your head. Machiavelli understood this pattern. Power is not always taken with force. Often, it is handed over by those who do not resist. Here is another moment. Someone makes a joke at your expense in front of others. You feel the sting, but you smile so no one feels uncomfortable. Everyone laughs. The moment passes, and something changes. They now know where the line is. And next time, they step a little further. Not because they hate you, but because you taught them it is allowed. This is how respect slowly disappears. You are not being kind. You are being invisible. This smile comes from fear. Fear of awkwardness. Fear of conflict. Fear of being seen as difficult. But here is the truth most people never hear. People do not respect those who erase themselves. They may like you. They may feel comfortable around you. But they will not take you seriously. And comfort is not power. Here is the shift. You do not need to be loud. You do not need to be aggressive. You simply need to stop rewarding disrespect. When someone talks over you, do not smile. Pause. Then continue your sentence. When someone jokes at your expense, do not laugh. Look at them. Say, "What do you mean by that?" Calm. Direct. No anger. No apology. Watch what happens. The room changes. The energy tightens. People become careful with their words. Not because you became harsh, but because you became solid. Here is your mirror question. Why do you smile when you feel disrespected? Is it politeness? Or is it fear of being seen? Machiavelli would call the submission smile a quiet surrender. Not dramatic, not obvious, but deadly over time. You do not need to perform comfort for others at the cost of yourself. Drop the smile. Hold your ground. Let your presence speak. The moment you stop softening disrespect is the moment others start treating you as someone who cannot be pushed. Before we move to third habit, if you're getting value from this, tap like and subscribe. It tells me you need more videos like this. Habit 3. The oversharing justification. You make a simple choice. You leave early. You say no. You change direction. And right away, you feel the need to explain. I was tired. I didn't mean it like that. I just thought. You keep talking. You keep defending something that never needed permission. That habit is the oversharing justification, and it quietly weakens your position. You believe you are being polite. You think you are being honest. You think you are avoiding tension. But what you are really doing is asking for approval. Here is a moment you know well. You tell someone you can't meet today. Instead of stopping, you add, I had a long week, I'm exhausted, and I still have things to finish. Nothing you said was wrong. But now, your choice is open for debate. They reply, it's only for an hour. You're always busy. You can rest later. Now you're defending your own time. That is not communication. That is giving away control. Power does not need to be justified. When someone important makes a decision, they do not explain every reason. They decide, and the room adjusts. Machiavelli understood this. The more you reveal your thinking, the easier you are to influence. Your honesty becomes a handle. Your reasons become leverage. Another everyday scene. You turn down extra work. Instead of saying, I can't take this on, you say, I'm overloaded, I don't want to mess it up, and I've been stressed lately. Now watch what happens. They answer, it won't take long. You're the only one who can do it. We're all stressed. Your boundary disappears. Not because they are cruel, but because you gave them the map. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Every extra explanation teaches people how to push you. They learn where you feel guilty. They learn what you fear. They learn which words make you bend. This does not make you kind. It makes you predictable. And predictable people are easy to control. This does not mean you should be cold. It means you should be clear. Old response. I can't come because I'm tired and I've had a rough week. Stronger response. I won't be able to make it. Short. Complete. Another moment. Someone questions your choice. Why would you do it that way? Old you. Well, I thought about it, and I didn't want problems. New you. That's the decision I made. No defense. No extra story. Here is your mirror question. Why do you feel the need to prove that your choices are acceptable? If the answer is, I don't want conflict, hear this. Avoiding conflict by over-explaining creates a deeper one inside you. You start shrinking, softening every edge, losing direction. Machiavelli would call this dangerous. Not because it is loud weakness, but because it invites control. Power is not shouting. Power is not cruelty. Power is deciding and stopping. You do not owe the world your reasons. You do not need to defend your path. Say less. Stand firm. The moment you stop explaining yourself is the moment others stop trying to own you. Habit 4. Does that make sense? Trap. You finish explaining something. Your idea, your plan, your opinion. Then you add one small sentence. Does that make sense? It sounds polite. It sounds careful. It sounds harmless. But that one line quietly weakens everything you just said. Picture a simple moment. You're in a meeting. You explain how a task should be done. Your voice is steady. People are listening. Then, at the end, you say, "Does that make sense?" Suddenly, the room shifts, not because your idea became wrong, but because you just asked permission for it to exist. You told everyone, "I'm not fully confident in what I just said." You may not feel it, but they do. This habit is not about clarity. It is about fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of sounding wrong. Fear of taking up too much space. So you soften your words before anyone can challenge them. Machiavelli understood this instinct. People often surrender power before it is even taken from them, not through force, but through language. Here is another everyday moment. You give directions to someone. They look confused. Instead of pausing and letting them ask, you rush in. Does that make sense? What you are really saying is, "I hope I didn't mess that up." You place doubt into your own message. And once doubt enters, authority leaves. Think about the difference. "I need this done by Friday" versus "I need this done by Friday." Does that make sense? The first is clear. The second invites negotiation, not because you are wrong, but because you signaled uncertainty. You think you are being respectful, but you are training people to question you. Over time, it becomes a pattern. They interrupt more. They push back faster. They second-guess you, not because they are rude, but because you taught them your words are flexible. This trap comes from a good place. You want to be understood. You want to be liked. You want to avoid tension. But power does not live in comfort. It lives in clarity. Here is the shift. Do not ask if your statement makes sense. Let silence do the work. Finish your point. Stop talking. If they do not understand, they will ask. If they disagree, they will speak. If they accept it, you will see it in their behavior. You do not need to invite doubt into your own message. If you want to check understanding, do it without shrinking yourself. Instead of, "Does that make sense?" try, "Tell me what you'll do next." Or, "Let me know if you need clarification." Same outcome. Very different signal. One lowers you. The other keeps you steady. Here is your mirror moment. How often do you question your own words the second after you say them? Not because they are wrong, but because you are afraid to stand behind them? Machiavelli would say this: "Power begins where explanation ends." You do not need to soften your presence. You do not need to apologize for clarity. You do not need to ask permission to be understood. State your point. Hold the silence. Let others adjust. The moment you stop doubting your own words, the world starts taking them seriously. Habit 5. The yes addiction. Someone asks for a favor. Your mouth opens. The word comes out before you even think. Yes. You don't check your schedule. You don't ask what it will cost you. You don't ask if you even want to. You just agree. It feels polite. It feels helpful. It feels like being a good person. But this habit is quietly destroying your power. Picture a normal day. A coworker says, "Can you handle this for me?" You already have your own work. You feel the pressure in your chest. Still, sure. Later, a friend asks you to go somewhere you don't want to go. You're tired. You want your evening back. Still, yeah, I'll come. By night, you are drained, frustrated, behind on your own life. And everyone else? They are perfectly fine. This is not kindness. This is self-erasure. You are not being generous. You are being trained. Machiavelli warned that power is lost when you allow others to use you without resistance, not through force, through consent. Every unnecessary yes teaches people something about you. It says, "My time is available. My energy is flexible. My priorities come last." And once that lesson is learned, it sticks. People stop asking carefully. They start expecting. Here is another everyday scene. Your phone buzzes. A message. "Can you help me real quick?" You feel the pull. You don't even ask what it is. You just agree. 10 minutes becomes an hour. Your own work waits. Your plans shrink. You think you are being reliable, but what you are really becoming is predictable. And predictable people get used. The yes addiction is not about kindness. It is about fear. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of conflict. Fear of being seen as selfish. So you choose comfort over control. But here is the truth. People do not respect those who are always available. They value what has limits. Think about it. A store that is open 24/7 feels cheap. A place with limited access feels important. Your time works the same way. When you say yes to everything, nothing you give has weight. The fix is simple, but it is uncomfortable. You pause, not to explain, not to justify. Just pause. Let me check. I can't right now. Not today. No long story. No apology for existing. No guilt speech. At first, it feels wrong. Your body will resist. Your mind will panic. But something powerful happens. People adjust. They stop assuming. They start respecting your space. They choose their requests more carefully. You are no longer the default solution. Here is your mirror moment. How many things in your life are there because you chose them? And how many are there because you were too afraid to say no? Machiavelli understood this. Those who control their availability control their value. You do not owe the world unlimited access to your time. You are not a resource to be drained. You are a person with direction. Every no you give to what doesn't matter protects the yes that actually does. Stop giving your life away, one polite word at a time. Habit 6. The just virus. Listen to how people weaken their own words. Can I just ask something? I just wanted to check. I'm just trying to help. That small word sounds harmless, polite, soft, safe, but it is quietly eating your authority. Picture a normal moment. You're in a meeting. You raise your hand and say, "I just wanted to add something." Before you even speak, you have already shrunk your idea. Not because it is wrong, not because it is small, but because you told everyone it is. This is the just virus. It makes strong people speak like they are interrupting their own lives. You think you are being respectful. You think you are being modest. But what you are really doing is lowering your status before anyone asks you to. You are apologizing for having a voice. Here's another everyday scene. You message someone. "Hey, I just wanted to see if you got my email." What you actually said was, "My time is less important than yours. My question doesn't really matter." You can ignore this if you want. And many people will. Machiavelli understood something uncomfortable. Power is not only what you do, it is how you present what you do. When you minimize yourself, others take you at that value. They don't think, "How polite." Their brain hears, "This person is unsure." And unsure people are easy to dismiss. Think about the language of authority. Leaders do not say, "I just think maybe." They say, "Here is what we will do." Not loud, not rude, clear. The word "just" is a verbal bow. It is you lowering your head before the conversation even begins. And when you do it again and again, you teach people something dangerous. You teach them that your words come with a built-in discount. Another moment you know well. You walk into a store. You say, "I'm just looking." What you mean is, "I don't want pressure." But what you signal is, "I have no intention. I am not a buyer." Suddenly, the staff loses interest. You become invisible. Not because you are unimportant, because you labeled yourself that way. This habit does not come from humility. It comes from fear. Fear of being seen as demanding. Fear of being judged. Fear of taking up space. So you shrink your sentences before anyone can challenge you. But here is the dark truth. People do not respect those who minimize themselves. They overlook them. And being overlooked is more dangerous than being disliked. The fix is simple. Delete the word. Not from your vocabulary forever. From the moments where you are about to make yourself small. Instead of, "I just wanted to ask a question," say, "I have a question." Instead of, "I'm just trying to help," say, "I'm here to help." Instead of, "I just wanted to follow up," say, "I'm following up." Feel the difference. Same message, different power. Here is your mirror moment. How many times today did you make yourself smaller before anyone asked you to? Machiavelli would call this a silent surrender. Not forced. Chosen. You don't need permission to speak. You don't need to apologize for existing. Your thoughts do not require a warning label. Stop shrinking your voice with one small word. Your ideas are not just anything. They are yours. Habit 7. The self-roast ritual. You laugh before anyone else can. "I'm terrible at this. I know I'm not that smart. Yeah, I always mess things up." You say it with a smile. You call it humor. You think it makes you relatable. But what you are really doing is cutting yourself down before anyone else has the chance. This is the self-roast ritual. and it is quietly destroying how people see you. Picture a normal moment. You're in a group. Someone asks about your work. Before they can react, you say, "It's nothing special. I'm kind of bad at it anyway." Everyone laughs. Feels safe. Feels easy. But something just happened. You told the room how to rank you. Not later. Not over time. Right now. You trained them to see you as lower than you are. You think you are controlling the narrative. In reality, you are writing a weak one. Here's another everyday scene. You make a small mistake. Before anyone says a word, you jump in. "I know, I'm an idiot." You beat them to the punch. You think you avoided judgment. But you didn't remove it. You just made it official. Machiavelli understood a dangerous truth. People believe what you present consistently. If you present yourself as small, clumsy, or unimportant, they stop expecting anything strong from you. And once expectations drop, so does respect. This habit does not come from confidence. It comes from fear. Fear of criticism. Fear of standing out. Fear of being seen as arrogant. So you choose a safer position, the one who makes fun of themselves first. But here is what most people never realize. Self-respect is contagious. So is self-contempt. When you treat yourself like a joke, others slowly follow. They interrupt you more. They take your ideas less seriously. They stop looking to you for leadership, not because they are cruel, because you showed them the script. Think about the people you admire. Do they open conversations by tearing themselves down? Do they introduce their work with apologies and jokes about how bad it is? No. They may be humble, but they are not hostile to themselves. There is a difference. Humility says, "I am still learning." Self-roasting says, "I am not worth taking seriously." And the world believes the second one faster. Here is a moment you know well. You share an idea at work. Before anyone responds, you add, "It's probably stupid." Now, no one has to challenge you. You already did it for them. You didn't protect yourself. You weakened your position. The fix is not to become arrogant. It is to stop being your own enemy. Remove the automatic insults. Instead of, "I'm bad at this," say, "I'm improving at this." Instead of, "I'm not that smart," say, "I'm learning." Instead of, "It's probably a dumb idea," say, "Here's my idea." That's it. No bragging, no performance, just clean language. Here is your mirror moment. How often do you tear yourself down just to feel safe? Machiavelli would call that a quiet surrender. You give up power before anyone even asks for it. You are not required to insult yourself to be accepted. You are not obligated to shrink so others feel comfortable. Stop making yourself the punchline, because once you do, the world stops laughing with you. It starts believing you. The habit ends here. If you're still here, you're not like the others. Like the video if you haven't. But if you want what's hidden, click the subscribe button and step into the architect level. You will unlock exclusive uncensored videos that dive into the deepest parts of the human psyche most won't. That's the point. If you haven't watched my previous video, 7 Levels of Intelligence, Where Do You Rank? You're missing the foundation that make this video actually work. Think of this video as strategy. That 1 is your armor. You'll find it linked below and on the end screen.